Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Classy Coins. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe and check out my other videos. Go like them and comment. But after you finish this video, I did want to go over the different types of accounts that we have as a married couple and what kind of makes things easier to budget our money. Because at first, sometimes it's too much going in, sometimes it's too much going in, too much going out, and you just need to know like what money needs to go here. It helps you categorize and like deal with your money and tracking your expenses and budgeting so much better. So let's go ahead and get straight into the video. Let's go through what we have for checking. So we did start off with separate accounts, and then I was just like, we're gonna combine our money anyway. Let's just have one joint account for mostly everything, especially our checking and our deposits. So first we have our checking, right? We have two checking accounts, and that is with Navy Federal. Now the reason that we went with Navy Federal is because if you know, or maybe you don't know, typically, I mean, it depends on a lot of things, but they usually have really great interest rate when it comes to if you want to, you know, get a home or a car or whatever the things it is that you might need. So that's why we're taking that route. We want to kind of establish longevity, and it's good if possible to have a credit union because their interest rates are typically lower. Of course, that does depend on like your credit. It's just different factors. Then we have the First Navy. I'm gonna put NF for Navy Federal down here. This first account is strictly for our bills only. Now that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm not gonna lie, act like we don't slip up and just swipe the card. But this is the reason that I did it. So this might be automated bills, or it could just be just the account that I might use to pay. And we have daycare, rent, medical bills, whatever. So some of these bills are automated, some I go in and pay myself. And it honestly depends on how big it is. And in our second checking account, this is for food or gas or personal expenses. So like I would like to break this down into cash. That's eventually my goal. I don't see myself going to no gas station paying no cash for no, I don't got time for that. I got a whole family. Like, just swipe me up real quick right here. But you know, for food and eating out, I am going to eventually have a cash envelope so that I like, look, this is what we have to eat out. Once we're out, we're gonna have to eat these ramen noodles. We're gonna have to eat what's in this house, and that's it, right? But I think having two of them is going to be helpful because you won't need to see like, okay, so we have food, gas, personal bills. This came out, that came out, that came out. Like, it helps so much to be like, okay, this is what that account was for. Now I can clearly see when I go through my expenses, oh, okay, we spent this on food and this on food, or this was the last time we swiped. You know what I mean? So it just brings a lot more clarity and categorization to it. So let's move on to savings. So we do have two saving accounts. So one is with Navy Federal, and that one's just like a basic savings. So I'll put things like half of our rent in there just to put it to the side until it's time to pay. Just so it's not like, oh shoot, like we got rent that's due and then we already swiped it out of one of these accounts. Like, whoops, you know, so I put half of rent here, or any future bills that aren't like soon, I'll put that money in there. And examples of this would be, honestly, sometimes I'll just put daycare from to the side once we get paid. Any major bills, I'm just like, look, I don't even want to see it in these two accounts to assume like, oh, we got money to play with or we have extra income. No, just go ahead and move it. And I know we don't, like, that's to go to something else. And then our second saving account is actually with Discover. So this is a high yield saving account. This one, we put money towards when we can. That we're not consistent because our goal right now is paying off our debt, like I said, and we're approaching a season of where we're about to move, so hopefully we can contribute to this more. All we're doing is just putting, it's not for any particular, I would say it's kind of basically our emergency fund. So just in case, I've only transferred from the account since we opened it in September 2022 one time because I was like, oh, I thought we had more money and we don't, we need that back. But yeah, so this is literally the only reason it's for our emergency fund. And like I said, we're throwing $100 or $200 there when we can, but it's just not our priority. We do have at least $1,800. Check out my savings update video as well. But we do have at least $1,800 in there, which is not terrible. Our goal is 3 to 6 months though. So that's going to happen over time as we have other goals we're trying to achieve. And then business, if you do watch my videos and you do know that we have our own business. Now this one is very, very tricky and we are still trying to get it together. It is a business that is shared. We do have a business partner and that is my father. So let's go through we have 3 accounts with them. So we have a checking, and this is where all of our business gets, like, our income gets deposited, and then we also have like loan money coming out of here as well. So debt and loans, that one can be a little tricky, which makes me feel like we need a completely different account for that loan coming out, because it's like $80 something every day. Then we have another checking, and oh, let me tell y'all, this is with Regions. So I'm not sure what area you're located in, but so far Regions has done as well. I don't really have any complaints for them, except for they can be really slow, but we are depositing like a pretty good amount of money. Like, it's not just 2,000, 3,000 here in one check. We do have a lot that it goes in, so they have to approve it, and business accounts work completely different from regular checking accounts. So I don't know if it's just slow because it's the bank, or if it's just slow because we're like depositing and they're like, whoa, that's a lot, you know. Not saying we're rich, because we have to split all this money amongst all of us, you know. So then there's another checking, and this is where we send our half of what we get paid. So like I said, we do split that money with my dad, who's a partner in the business. So we'll send the money from this account to this account so that we're not confused, especially because this is coming out. It can be like, wait, so how much were we supposed to take? Well, we know what we're supposed to take, but we just want to make sure it's not taken out. It just makes things a lot easier. And the third one we have is a savings. Now you already know things you should have for savings would be like taxes. It depends on the type of business you have, but like future expenses, you know, things like that. And so for us it would be maintenance, because that's the type of business we have. But y'all, the struggle, because we just trying to see all the coins, and it's like we got to put this money away. But we're looking to eventually get set up on a quarterly basis to pay taxes, but for now we're just paying them like on a yearly basis. The type of business that we have is not cheap. A good amount that goes into it, but luckily we do see enough income where the ROI is good, you know. So if you want a video on like how much we bring in for our business and how we allocate all the funds, then definitely comment that below. And moving on to our credit cards, as you guys know, we have well, if you've been watching, we have a Wells Fargo credit card, and I can just tell y'all the balance for that is $2,717, I believe. And then our second one, this one was higher because we had used it, my husband used it for loans for school when he had to like pay for tuition. Y'all know it's not free. And then the other account we have is Capital One, which is a credit card. I've already paid this balance off. So typically I have my subscriptions on here, and that's literally like 4 or 5 subscriptions that end up totaling up to be about $53. So I keep this balance paid off. I have not let it go up anymore. I used to swipe it for like food and like Amazon and quick buys, and oh, I just really want this, I'll pay it off really quick. But y'all, I started seeing that interest for the Capital One that I have is like 20%. I was like, oh no, we just gonna use it for the minimum, and we're gonna pay it off. We're gonna pay it off before that interest hit. So it's typically the minimum that I just keep on there. For other people who have commented on my channel, like, just keep the credit card open, don't close it, because I know that can hurt your credit. I'm probably gonna deduct like 1 or 2 subscriptions, because I would love for this to be way lower right now. This is not terrible, but it's also not like my ideal. We have a car loan with Wells Fargo as well, but you know how that goes. So this sums up all of our accounts, everything that, you know, we use it for. And oh, the last thing we have, just kidding, is Acorn. We do $15 per week, and that invests into the Acorn account, right? So I guess you could call this investment, just a little bit, just a dab of investment. We're not too heavy there yet, but we're gonna get there. This is all of our accounts. This is broken down. I hope that you did find this helpful, so we can just do a quick overview. So we have 2 checking accounts, and one is for bills, one is for basically food and personal. We have 2 savings. One is for like anything I want to put to the side. The other one is to grow for that interest rate to increase. Then we have a couple business accounts. One's for checking for all of our money. The other is for when we take our half out. And then we have savings. And the other thing we have is credit card, debt. And lastly, Acorns, which is our small investment that we're doing right now. So I really hope that you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments how you break down your accounts. Maybe that will help us out even more. Let me know if you use cash envelopes. Let me know if you're more of a digital person, and let me know how you split up your money, how you keep up with everything. But I do hope that you found this video helpful. Make sure you comment, make sure you like, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.